like my question is, did you feel ready at that time? Like, were you ready to be a dad? Were you excited? Were you nervous when it happened?
I was, I mean, you knew me back then.
Yeah.
I was not ready. I was not ready to be dad. I was not ready. Like, I was super nervous to be like, oh man, like, I'm still trying to figure out how to be an adult at my age and then also bringing someone else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to put food on the table for him and, baby Jaden's like, you're the godfather, right? So, so Jaden's like, yeah. So it was just, I was not ready for it. Neither was Anna, and it was super hard at first, but we kind of figured it out. Like our support that we had,
Mm-hmm.
just really like we relied on that a lot.
Looking back now, obviously you don't regret baby J, you don't regret being a dad, but would you wish you had waited? Are you like, okay, I was never said the time, but I'm so glad it happened? Is there any kind of changes that you wish you could have made?
A good question. Honestly, I feel like it was the right time when Jaden came. Never regret having him or having any of the kids because I don't know. I just feel like even though I wasn't ready, it was perfect timing. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like, hey, it's helped me level or like just level up in my life to be like, okay, now I need to be responsible for other people. And now I'm a dad, so I need to figure out what's my next chapter, my next step in life. So
Mm-hmm.
I was so grateful.
As a dad to somebody who's not a dad, but I've been married coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
What would be the like number one case you'd make to me to say like, hey Chase, it's time for you to have kids or you should have kids? Because I don't
Shoot.
feel ready. But
Yeah.
I know I want a family, but I definitely don't feel ready. And I know
Yeah.
most people don't feel ready when they have kids. So what would that case be that you'd make to me?
Dang, I've never had that question. That's a great question. Um, yeah, it's just like you probably heard, it's like marriage. You're never going to feel super ready financially or it, just emotionally, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
But it is literally the best thing in the world being a dad, bringing someone into your life that, I mean, you have a lot of life experience and sharing that with someone that you love and adore and you can raise to be someone like you and be like, man, it is seriously the best feeling in the world to watch now that my 6-year-old's growing up, just see him be interested in different things. I'm like, man, I'm so grateful that I have these boys I could be an example and it pushes me to like step up,
Mm-hmm.
especially when my girl came. The way I think about it now, it's way different than my boys. My boys are like, oh, we can roughhouse and all that stuff. My girl, Talia, she's 4 months. As soon as she was born, I knew it was different. I was like, well, now I have to, I don't want her, I don't want to be her to date a bum guy. So I can't be a bum dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to be solid and I need to be able to be an example to her to like, hey, this is what a man is. Same with my boys. So that's the fun part about it is you get to create amazing memories and raise someone who's just like, it's just fun to see a little Willie run
Yeah.
around and you'll see a little Chase run around. You're like, this is awesome. Like now when he grows up, I can put him in sports
Yeah.
or
Little
lifting or whatever.
a little Chase running around would be a terror for everybody involved.
Everyone needs another Chase in their
Yeah,
life
right.
like that.
No, jeez. My dad, I know my dad was saying, he's like, I can't wait for you to have kids so you can know what it was like to deal with you as a little kid. Because I can imagine he's just going to be stubborn and
Oh
doing his
yeah.
own thing. Well, that's fun. You say like kids, you weren't prepared, but they helped you level up and they helped you, push yourself to become, the example to your children. What are some things that off like the top of your head changed after you had a kid for you personally in your character and behaviors and your mindset?
Yeah. My priorities changed. Like, as you know, I was playing rugby. I was going to the gym with you like twice a day. And I was at the fittest of my life when I was working out with you, by the way. And my wife, Anna, tells me till this day, she's like, you were the most fit when you were with Chase. I'm like, I know. But I don't go to the gym at night. Like I hit everything in the morning before 5 in the morning until 7 so I can come home and help my wife with the kids. I don't like I just priorities change to where I'm like, okay, the most important thing to me right now is my kids and my wife. So and then work, just making sure like whatever I'm doing, I have to make sure that it's gonna bless my family. Like I have to make sure like whatever time I'm putting in, it's helping me, but it's also gonna help my family. So which then before not having kids, like even when I first had kids, I was like, I want to have fun, I want to travel, like I want to be fit and all this stuff. But that stuff is still important to me. But the most important thing to me is like I'm always thinking, okay, is what I'm doing like gonna bless my family? Is it gonna be okay to for me to do whatever, go on a trip somewhere? When I was living in Texas, I was traveling a lot. Like I was going just everywhere, Hawaii, New Zealand, everywhere, and it was for work. But it was kind of hard because like I was away from my wife and kids, and I noticed a shift in their the moment I made the shift, like okay, I'm gonna stay home now, is when my kids started saying, "Dad, I want to go to your house. Like I want to go to your house."
Mm-hmm.
So right then there, I was like, "Oh crap! Like that's not okay. I
Mm-hmm.
want they need to know like this is our house, this is our family, like this is Dad's house too." So I made a shift. I'm like, okay, whatever I'm gonna do is gonna be like I'm gonna come home at night. They're gonna see me at night. They're gonna see me in the morning. So all that like that's what comes to my mind is a I'm gonna do anything I can to make sure that I'm there for my family. Second off, leveling up like work wise,
Mm-hmm.
making sure like if I'm like my barbershop or my men's anything I'm doing in the future, I'm looking at like how can I build something to like bless my family? Like where my kids can maybe take over if they want to, or if they want to, or if they don't want to. But yeah, that's my mindset now.
Friends, welcome back to the show. I wanted to take a few moments and speak no script, and we'll see where it goes. I just wanted to give a sincere thank you to each and every one of you that listens to the show. I know you could be using that time to do anything else, and I'm very conscious and protective of that time. And I'm always looking for ways to add more value through things like production, as well as through myself as a podcast host. And I'm at the point where I feel like I'm just getting started. I promise to continue to work each and every week to add more value and get you guys more return on that time. And my only ask is that you take a moment to go ahead and hit the follow or subscribe button that's right here on this app. It helps tremendously in allowing more people to find the show. And in turn, that allows me to get the guests that you guys want me to speak to. Thank you so much. Listening to that, I take it that was a huge motivator to be a business owner and found and create, your barbershop that you have going on. How did that come to be, and how are you liking owning it?
Yeah, being a business owner is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. I mean, just like I'm, I'm imagining like when your podcast, it's probably not easy to like get everything started at first, but your podcast is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
um, but it came to be because obviously you knew I was barbering still a little bit at Finex. I had my barber's license, but I just came to a point where I'm like, hey, I want to be my own boss. I want to be able to create my own schedule, and I want to be able to be there for my family. I did sales like door to door for a number of years, selling solar panels, and I used that money to build a barbershop because I knew like, hey, this is just gonna be a short time. I'm gonna build this money to build some to create a business, um, so that I can have something to build for my future family. That's how it came to be. Is like, hey, I'm gonna build a business, but it was really tough, and it's businesses are not easy. They're up and down, but I'm grateful that I started it.
What's not easy about it? Like, what are some things that caught you unexpectedly?
Growing too fast.
Mm,
Like I think for me, like whenever I'm going into something, I'm always like, okay, how can I grow? How can
mm-hmm.
I grow up the ladder? Or how can I level up? In my barbershop when I started, I had three other barbers and myself. And, I don't know the community very well in Heber City at that time. My wife's from there, but I don't know them personally. The road on my barbershop was closed for a year. And then I had to fill chairs, but I also had to get those guys busy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how humans are. They just conveniency. If there's like, oh, there's no parking. I can't go on this road, but there's parking on the other side of our building. But they're like, yeah, it's too much. It'd take 2 seconds to drive and park somewhere else, like, and they can just walk over.
Mhm.
But they're like, I'll just go to a different barbershop. So it like almost sank my business. And I could have easily just been like, I'm just gonna quit. Like I'm just gonna let's just wrap this up. Let's figure out something else.
Mhm.
But I just knew my vision. Like I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And I hired a mentor who, long story, he spoke at my men's group, but he used to own a barbershop. He's super successful now doing other things. But he just told me, hey, just stick to it. Like be disciplined, be consistent, stick to what you're doing. I know it's gonna be hard, but just weather the storm. And so that's what helped me.
What I mean, these lessons that you learn, it's always funny. You can read, you can study, you can do whatever you need to do to try and prepare, but nothing actually prepares you until you actually do it. And the best way to learn is get reps, do volume, start the thing.
Yeah.
I always think of the story. There was like two different professors, and it was a pottery class, and one professor said like your only assignment for this entire semester is like just come back at the end of the semester with one beautiful, perfect pot, and you'll be graded on that. And then the other professor was like, you will be graded only on the total quantity of pots that you make. So it's like, I don't care if you
Mm.
mess up. I don't care if they're bad. You're just graded on the total quality or total quantity. So how many you produce. And then at the end of the semester, the class that had to make that one pot, they brought it in, and on average, they were worse than the professor who had them make more, because not only did they perform more reps, but those reps improved overall because they were getting those reps in. And so the overall quality improved. And so you can always
Yeah.
study and try and plan and get the best possible outcome, but nothing prepares you like volume and reps.
No, it's very true. Like I had a huge business plan and my vision, and I wrote everything down. I had it all marked out. Like this is what it's going to be. This is how I'm going to start it. This is how much money I want to have by the end of the first year one.
Mhm.
This is what I want the shop to produce. All this stuff, and I was like, I got it. Gonna work out. It went nothing like that. Like actually opposite. Like I was like, oh, I made negative money year one, and it wasn't what I wanted. I actually had to get rid of two barbers, keep one because I couldn't get the other two busy. So I was like, what the heck?
Mhm.
That was crazy. But like you said, I just stayed. I just kept going to work every day and just being consistent. Just like in the gym, like when I first started CrossFit, obviously, and I'm still not good at it. Like I'm still not,
Who is?
but I was just like, okay, just let me just keep going. Like the more I go, the more I just show up, I'll get better at it. And I'm still learning every day
Mhm.
about how to be a business owner and also how to grow a business. But I feel like we're kind of pretty dialed in now.
What are some of the things that you did to be able to maintain a mindset, like you said, after that first year, not achieving what you wanted, being negative in the hole? Like you were saying, I mean, you had these thoughts of quitting or stopping. I know you had that mentor who told you to keep going, but what were some things that you did to kind of keep your mind straight and really keep pushing through?
Um, a lot of things. The mentor is a big thing. And he helped train my mind to like stay the course,
Huh.
like just stay the course. And you know your vision, stay the course. Second thing was just looking at my family in the morning, going to work and being like, I cannot fail. Even though failure, like I've failed a lot in this, but I'm like, I have to keep going. I can't give up. If I give up, then I'm giving up on them. So that helped me mindset keep going. And I did some breathwork stuff, like the breathwork coach. I've been to there's a really good one in Utah, and she just helped me like kind of get level
Yeah.
and 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 de-stress, not fully de-stress, but just get level with like where I'm at and just be okay with like, hey, you're in a good spot.
Hmm.
It Don't look at everything negative. Control what you can control, and just keep moving forward, step by step, brick by brick. So,
What are
I
some,
mean,
would you recommend? And this word, the word mentor, every time I hear it, I like cringe inside. Like it makes me, it sounds like guru. It sounds like,
yeah.
yeah, like you know, that. woo woo Western or Eastern medicine. I'm going to go climb a mountain to see my shaman. Uh, but the word, it's just the word. It's just the negative connotation of the word. Maybe it seems slimy.
Yeah.
Or you're so like people are so subjected to like the social media, like kind of like, here's my $29 course on how to detoxify
Right.
your gut and stuff like that. And so you have people who are on social media who have that mentor title. Um, but I mean, there are going to be the slime balls, the sleazy people who are on social media, but I'm sure there's also going to be, like, in your experience, the gentleman that you were able to work with. What are some of the benefits, and would you recommend somebody hire or get with a mentor or find a person?
Yeah. Like you, Chase, the word mentor was always like, oh, I hate that word.
Yeah.
Like, it's because someone always told me like, hey, go hire a mentor or
Mhm.
go get like a personal coach or a life coach. And those all, I'm like, oh, that just reminds me of all the, no offense to like all the Utah
Yeah.
mentors that are like building a coaching program. Um, but I just was like, okay, I just need to find someone who's doing what I'm doing way better. And I'm going to go like actually meet the person and I want to see what their values are. I want to see like who they are as a person. So that's what I did.
Mhm.
His name's Nafe, and I went into some of his barbering classes and business classes. And then he started doing retreats, like different retreats for his business. And I started attending those. And I figured out like, hey, this guy actually is not a slime ball and he's not sleazy. He actually just really cares about helping people level up their life. So when I found him, I was like instantly connected. I was like, yes, that is what I want. And that's where I want to start going.
Mhm.
And so I did everything I could to like be in his, on his table, which really blessed, like it helped me so much, not just like personally, but he put me in different rooms with different people.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if you know who John C. Maxwell is. He's an author, writes some leadership books. He's a great author, but went to Florida, met him and Tim Tebow. And then I went to a bunch of other events where I was able to meet people I would never meet. And just being able to sit with those people and talk to them and be like, hey, what did you do? I would have never had that opportunity if I didn't have Nafe.
Mhm.
Um, so that really helped me change the course of my business and my mindset, where I'm like, okay, I have to have a more abundance mindset, and I have to start thinking bigger and have a bigger vision than just like, oh, this is where I'm gonna be. I'm good here. This is good enough.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to sit there. So, but yeah, so mentor, like I know that word is like cringy, but I highly recommend getting that. Is like I likened it to like I wanted to be really good at CrossFit. So I followed you. Like anything that Chase is doing, whatever he's eating, whatever he's taking product wise, however he's sleeping, whatever I'm gonna be at every workout he's doing. Like that was like the whole year or two of my life
Yeah.
is I'm just gonna follow you. And it was amazing now because now like if I'm in the gym or if I'm training like different young high school kids, I'm like, oh, Chase actually taught me this. so
That was
so yeah.
that was the most fun time I've had in CrossFit, because after you left and after that, things started getting pretty miserable for my training in terms of just I wasn't enjoying it anymore. But
Yeah.
when you and the boys were there, that was definitely the most fun. And when you're having fun, it's also the most productive, because like you're
Yes.
more willing to suffer, you're more willing to get uncomfortable, you're more willing to do hard things because you're having fun and you're laughing, and it's a lot more enjoyable versus when you're going down in there and you're like, this sucks, I hate it. It doesn't matter how mentally tough you are, you're just not going to be able to push as hard or be as incentivized to get uncomfortable. So I had a lot of fun with you guys back in the day. That was a blast.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I said, if I didn't have you, like that was a huge part of like my fitness journey. It also helped me turn that over into life because then I was like, oh man, I went through the hardest workout of my life. My heart was like about to stop. And Chase kept saying, well, keep going. I'm like, what? This guy's still going. But I legit, I would transfer that into life so that if I did that in the morning, even now, if I do something hard, I know anything that goes on with life, I'm like, well, I almost died this morning.
Mhm.
So this is easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I transfer that over in a lot.
I was just talking about this on a different podcast, but it's like the idea of like voluntary suffering versus involuntary suffering. Like the more you voluntarily suffer, the less you're going to involuntarily suffer. So like the more you do the things that you don't enjoy or the things that hurt but push you forward, like a hard workout or, you know, working on your side hustle or working on your own business or doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing that requires time and sacrifice at that time, the less down the road you're going to have that involuntary suffering. So like those health issues, those times spent in the hospital, working that 9 to 5, answering to a boss, doing whatever those things are that you don't have control over and that are involuntary, but still suffer. I'd rather choose my suffering every time.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So this, your mentor, what was his name again?
His name's Nafe Latu.
How did you, I know you had, you know, past experiences with him, but how did you find him and vet him and choose him? And how would you recommend other people do it as well?
Yeah, so I when I was living in Provo, I got a haircut from him back in like 2016 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then I didn't see him for a while. But when I was in barber school, I remember him, I saw that he was teaching a class. So I went to his class to check it out and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Then I didn't see him for another couple of years. But then I saw that he had the number one barbershop in Utah. And he went from like charging like $40 to $400. And he was cutting like all the Denver Broncos, cutting a bunch of like professional golfers, all these people. And I was like, that looks fun. Not, I didn't want to be like a celebrity barber, but I really wanted to like have the life where he's like growing,
Mm-hmm.
but also he was bringing like his people up with him. I was like, I want to do that. I want to bring whoever works for me or works with me. I want to bring them up with me. And it just really intrigued me. So I started messaging him on Instagram and he's like, hey, come to my class. And now he invites me to everything. He's like, come to this class, come to this retreat. He came to my men's group last week or 2 weeks ago or something and spoke in it. And usually he charges like a lot of money for like 20 minutes, but he came and did it for free. And so I, I really recommend anyone, like if you want to get better at your craft or just like level up in life, be around like-minded people and then find someone who's doing it better than you.
I started listening to podcasts back in early 2016. And since then, I've listened to a lot of episodes and I've covered a lot of ground. And I always get asked, hey, what's your favorite show? What's your favorite episode? So I made a list. I made a list of the 10 most impactful episodes I've listened to over the 9+ years, and it's completely for free. You can find that in the description of this episode or on my Instagram in my bio. And I hope you find those episodes as enjoyable and impactful as I did, because they are in part a huge reason why you guys are listening to me right now. Thank you very much. Now back to the show. I imagine that having that skill set as a barber, because your wife Chelsea, you guys used to always cut my hair, and it was back in the day when we were at, you know, in Utah back at FNX. Even when I was outside of FNX, I still trying to hit up Chelsea to get her to cut my hair.
Yeah.
I don't know, I still don't. Whenever I go to a barber, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, no clue,
Like, I
just
don't
make it
know.
look good. But having that skill set, like people are always going to be needing to have like haircuts or things like that. So like for you, I imagine that was also like a nice backstop for like you could go do things outside of whatever that is to try and figure out what you wanted to do, but you'd always have that skill set like to fall back on. You could always find a chair, you could always do what you needed to do and make the money if you had to.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of like, whenever I had to go out to do like sales,
Mm-hmm.
different states, and I was like, oh, let me just like put my time into doing sales and building a team and all this stuff. As soon as I was done, and as soon as we moved back to Utah, I still had my business. And it was my whole reason why I started the barbershop, so that if anything were to ever happen, I still have this shop to make money. And so I came back and I was like, well, what am I going to do? I don't want to do sales anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
like, let me just go back into my shop and start putting more time into my shop and building it.
So
So it's a nice backstop.
you had your shop and you were still out doing sales at the same time, like those were happening at the same
Yeah.
time. Who was
Yeah. So
who was running and overseeing your shop, or did it kind of like manage itself?
I hired like the guy I first hired, his name is Zach, and he's now my business partner.
Mm-hmm.
before he got bought into the business, I hired him when I moved to Texas to run it. I said, "Hey, you're my manager. I trust you," because he has the same mindset as I
Mhm.
do. So I'm like, this guy is like my twin. So it's always like good to like try and duplicate yourself.
Yeah,
And so you're like,
absolutely.
if you have a business, you're like, how can I get someone that thinks like me and does exactly what I want to do and the way I would run the business? And that was that. And I didn't really have to train him much. He was just like that. And so I was like, hey, you're managing the shop. Whoever you want to hire, whatever you want to do with it, like that's all you. And for the first year, he would always call me and be like, hey, can I? I'm like, you choose,
Yeah,
you decide. But it helped him. Like he
yeah,
was a very shy guy, and now he's like, anytime someone comes in, they're like, who's the owner? I'm like, that guy. Like
yeah,
I'm just the janitor. Like that's the owner right there. But so I hired him, and he hired a bunch of people, and it rolled really well, and he actually grew my shop like crazy. So
mhm.
then he bought into the shop.
What's end goals? Like, what are your future goals for your shop now?
It's always been to either expand it to a few more shops,
Mm,
um, and also just like help other barbers come into a space because we also have a school that's connected to us,
mm,
that hair and barber school that my mother-in-law owns. And my wife worked there and my sister-in-law works there. So we all used to own it. Me and my wife, no, Anna and I don't own it. We have no ownership anymore in it. But it's to just bring other barbers in to have a landing space where they can start and hopefully get them to start their own business. Like, hey, I don't want you to stay here forever, but I want you to like learn what you need to learn and then go start a shop. But I want to do that. Like, I want to have a bunch of them and
mhm.
then sell out in like 5 years
That's
and
cool.
just sell
Yeah,
the name in like 5 years and be like, sweet, we did it.
yeah,
Like, we built 5, 6 of these and we just sold the name. So
that's awesome.
that's end goal.
How does that involve or incorporate your men's group that you're building up there, and what's the incentive or the reason behind
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So the men's group, and it was like, I'll kind of explain like where it is right now. We're only in month 2 of it,
Mhm,
and it's grown more than I expected it to, or wanted it to.
mm,
Like the reason why I started it, I've always wanted to start some kind of after hours men's group at my barbershop. I was like, that'd be really cool to like start a shop or start a group where men can come in and just I can connect them because every day we get people who come into our shop and we cut their hair and we hear their story. It's kind of like a therapy session. They kind of tell us like what's going on. We also get all the juice that's going on in the community and like all the tea. So, but we're able to see like different people, whether they're struggling or if they're having successes. And I'm like, dang, if he just knew this person and they connected on a more personal level, then
mm,
I think that would really help them. So I started the group 2 months ago, but I've been wanting to start it for 3 years.
okay.
But my brother, who is a very successful business owner, said, Willie, just do the thing. Like you don't have to worry about being perfect or anything like that. He told me this about like content, just start recording and also like just do the thing. Just start whatever it is. And I did it. Like he made an agreement with me and he does these things where he's like, hey, I'm going to make an agreement with you, a verbal agreement with you. And if you say you're going to do something, then you do it. So he asked me, are you a man of your word? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, we'll see. So he said, let's make an agreement. What do you want in your agreement to me? And I said, well, I will start my men's group. He's like, when? It's like, oh, like in a month. He's like, no, this Thursday. This Thursday, you're going to start it. I'm like, it's Monday. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, how am I going to do that? He's like, start it. So I started it and I was like, 2 people are going to show up. We had 9 people show up and it was amazing. All these guys are like, they needed it. They were
Mhm,
like, Willie, thank you so much. I really needed this. I've been struggling with A, B, C, D in my life, whether it be business or personal. And they're just able to be around like-minded people and be able to express like what it is to be a man. And that's why I started my men's group is, I don't know, Chase, I don't know if you've looked into like suicidal and depression rate in America or in Utah
Mhm.
with males is like up the roof right now. It's crazy. So I was like, how can I get men to be around other men and build other men? Because I think in America in general, it is very, and we're doing a little bit better, but it's very frowned upon to show emotion or be sensitive
For sure.
or be vulnerable. It's just not part of our nature. So, especially being a dad, you're like, I got to be a man. I got to provide. But then we push away our own, like, hey, I'm struggling with this, but I just got to push it away, which causes depression and suicidal thoughts. So I started it to get men to be able to come in to be vulnerable and come as they are so that they can just share whatever they're sharing and be okay with it. And whether they're crying or being sad or smiling, being having fun and being happy, like that's why I started it. And then this month, I did one last week, and there was like 12, 13 people show up, and there's a speaker that came, and it was amazing. Like I was not expecting this to be this big. Now people are reaching out to me via Instagram saying, "Hey," like random people, and some very, very successful people saying like, "Hey, can I speak in your next men's group? I'll fly in." And I'm like, uh, sure. Like, and other people are like, and the men in our group are like, hey, can we do a physical challenge? Hey, can we do a retreat? And that wasn't my plan for it. But now I'm like, you know what? Like, this could be really good for men.
Yeah.
And I would love for more men to be a part of this. So,
So even if you do, build up and sell, your barbershop, it sounds like you're passionate and you want to continue, your men's group.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I've, like I said, I wasn't planning on it being anything huge. I was like, oh, let's just make it really small. Like everyone can talk. It's now starting to get like pretty big. Um, and I don't know where it's going to turn out in a year, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of like just kind of going with the flow. I'm like, hey, this is like everyone's all in this without me being like, hey guys, let's go all in. And all these
Mhm.
guys are like, Willie, we want to do this, 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 and this. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's, yeah.
When her like so you started it, that was Monday. You started it Thursday. How did you get the word out? And what was like the plan? Like people showed up. Did you talk? Or you just like, hey, this is Gary. Gary, meet Ben. And then you guys are all just hanging out, eating nachos. Like, what was it?
Okay. I had no idea till 30 minutes before we started it what I was doing. Like
Yeah.
legit, me and Zach, 30 minutes before it even started, Zach's like, so what are we going to do? I was like, Zach, I'm just going to stand up and start talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the plan was to just like, I was like, okay, the way I did it was, okay, I just need to start doing content. So I started doing content. I was like, and then I started posting about like, hey, I'm having a men's group. And we started telling everyone in our barbershop, all these men, and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'll be there 100%. Like I'm in.
Hmm.
And we weren't sure, there was
Yeah.
about 50, I counted like 52 people who reached out and said yes.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, Zach, probably two of those people will show up. Like people are just saying yes just because. 9, 10 people showed up, which is awesome. More than what we thought. But we just started posting. I just started posting like, hey, this is what we're doing. Let me know if you're interested. And people were like, yes, I'll come. And then Thursday came around and I was like, well, do you guys have any like snacks or anything? I'm like, am I supposed to have that? And she's like, probably be nice to have like snacks for guys to eat. I'm like, oh my gosh, like sure. Like, can you make some cookies and some whatever? So she made a bunch of food and these guys showed up and Zach's looking at me like, and I'm looking at him like, so are you going to start this or am I? So I just stood up and I just talked. I said, hey, this is meant for you guys. Like I wanted to create something where everyone can connect and share and be vulnerable. It's not supposed to be a therapy session, although it might turn into that. And it just went like I didn't have to do a lot of talking. Like everyone introduced themselves, but when they introduced themselves, it was kind of like an AA meeting.
Yeah.
And we joked around for a second. I'm like, hi, I'm Willie. Like, hey, Willie. And it was just kind of funny. But then everyone started just sharing without me asking. And I just would start asking questions like, oh, like to like get the conversation going a little bit. But people were just like pouring into each other, which I'm so grateful for
Hmm.
because it made my job easier. But it was also cool to see all the men like, oh, this is what they really needed.
Yeah.
So
How did it evolve from the first one to the second one? Obviously, you had the speaker. Uh, but
mhm.
was it like the same vibes, or was there more structure?
There's a little bit more structure. So the structure was like, hey, Nafe's gonna come in. He's gonna introduce himself, his story. I kind of gave a little introduction. He's gonna go over a topic, and I told Nafe like, hey, go over whatever topic you want, like identity or whatever.
Hmm.
And he talked for a little bit, and then he did a Q&A session. And then afterwards, people, when they asked him questions, then people started being like, hey, I'm struggling with this. How would you deal with that? And so he gave a lot of good advice. But then other men started pouring in and being like, hey, like this helped me out too. So it turned back into like, first started out with like, hey, he's speaking, back into like, hey, we're all discussing. I know it super good. And now people are saying like, they're like referring me like, hey, can you ask this person to speak? And I'm like, you want me to ask? Like, I'm like, I'm just a guy. I'm just a barber guy. I'm just here to like make this happen. But,
Hmm.
um, yeah, we have a cool speaker next month that, I haven't told anyone yet that he's amazing, very close to me. And then two other in February and March um, who are very like successful. I would say they're celebrities, athletes. They're
Hmm.
athletes, and I'm like super excited to have them in.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't expect it to be like this, but I'm like, that's the structure. It first wasn't a structure. Now there is a structure, but I also have to be careful to not take away from that men's group vibe,
Yeah.
because I always want to keep it like, hey, this is meant for the men to speak and discuss.
So it doesn't sound like there's going to be one in December, or is it going?
Well, we had one this month already,
Oh, you did.
last week with
Okay.
Nafe.
Oh, I thought that was at
Last
like end of March or end of November, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
so we had it last month or
Okay.
last week.
Okay.
Last month when we started, we didn't have a speaker.
Mm.
I was kind of speaking, but it was kind of everyone discussing.
Hmm.
But now, like legit, all the guys like today, they all reached out. Like we all want to do like a dinner,
Hmm.
and they also want to do a service project for someone in the community. So we found someone here in Park Cities. She's a rock climber, and she tragically got hurt somehow, fell, and she's paralyzed. And so everyone's like, hey, let's go build something. Let's go serve her. So us men together, we're going to go serve her and go out and do something to serve her and figure out how can we build you a ramp? Can we do whatever it is? So stuff like that, like it's great to have these men in there because they're thinking of stuff that I'm like, oh man, why didn't I think about
Hmm.
that? Like we should do that. So
Do you have a date for the next one? It's unfortunate because I'm only there the
I know,
21st through the 4th, so
I know.
it doesn't sound like I'm
Um,
going to be able to make it.
no, I don't have, actually I do. For next month is going to be the 23rd
Mm.
of January,
Okay.
but I don't have one for February or March.
Nice.
So,
Well, with this, because right now you just kind of have it in your Instagram bio. It's like, men's advocate. It doesn't seem like you have like a social media or landing page yet for this group. How do you see it growing and evolving in that aspect? Do you want it to be more rigid and more like, have an actual place where people can get more info, or do you like it kind of like community only, people who know you or around you, or word of mouth?
um, I was, at first, I was like, hey, I'm going to keep it in the community, but it's been growing where we have people from Salt Lake and other places come, like drive in at 7 p.m. and leave at 11 p.m.
Hmm.
and more people from everywhere just wanting to be in it. So I'm like, okay. So that's been my thought, Chase, actually, is like, okay, I need to start a landing page for this and a website for this. I need to see like how this goes so I can dial it in a little bit more. And it's been going good. So I'm like, okay, now I need to start a page for this. And like you said, a landing page and a website where people can like, kind of see like, this is what it is.
Hmm.
We'd love for you to be a part of it. And so to welcome all men and I would love, honestly, Chase, I would love to, and this is part of a vision too. And I don't know if I think I can do it. I can do it, but I want, I would love to start shops in different states and
Hmm.
like, hey, do a men's, like let's do a men's group in Colorado.
cool.
let's do a men's group in Texas and in our shop over there. And it'd be amazing to do something like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Talk to me about your day to day, because obviously, you're organizing these men's groups. You're a business owner. Are you still in there cutting hair? Like, what is your day to day and your logistics?
yeah, so wake up 5 in the morning, I hit the gym, I'll do like a CrossFit Metcon and then I'll do a strength workout. And then I go to work at usually around 9 o'clock. Unless I have like meetings or um like podcasts, or I've been invited to a few podcasts that I've been hopping on lately, and then just trying to meet with like connect with different people to be like, hey, how can I get this men's group going, or
Hmm.
different opportunities out there that I'm doing. And then I just go into the shop and cut. Now that I've hired a new barber last week, I've kind of cut time from like cutting to where I'm like, okay, I've freed up my time. What do I need to build now? Like, how can I get this men's group and this shop rolling more? So I'm spending a lot of time doing that. And then, so yeah, I'm there till 5, 6, or I'm just figuring out like, how can I build the shop more and putting more time into that. And then go home, hang out with the family and kids. And I
Hmm.
spend a lot of time, like right now, I'm trying to make sure my, the hardest part about me is like, when I get into something, I'm very obsessive. Like, I can't get it off my mind. And it's actually a blessing and a curse. Because when I do go home, I need to be where my feet are. Like, I need to be like, if I'm at work, I'm at work. If I'm at home, I'm at home. When I'm at home, I'm like thinking, okay, I need to get on my iPad or my laptop or whatever. And I figure out like, what can I do to chat GPT? How can I build this?
Yeah,
and, and also like, I want to build a clothing brand for all this as well.
cool.
So I've already kind of started it a little bit. Um, and have a manufacturer for it, but it's kind of like on the side right now. So a lot of things that I'm trying to like focus in on,
Yeah.
and then also be a dad and a husband. So when I'm at home, I'm like, okay, make sure that you're being the best dad and the best husband when you're home. Going to bed at 9, and I'm like, here we go,
Hmm.
do it again.
Hmm.
So that's kind of my day to day.
What are some steps you're taking? Because obviously, it's easy to say, because I'm the same. I mean, you know me. I'm very obsessive.
Yeah,
I'm very focused, and very. I've got that same thing, and it's easy to say like, oh, I need to have balance, or I need to do this. What are some steps or some things that you're doing to implement that and to actually be, a focused husband and a focused parent versus just having and not having your mind, wander?
yeah. Um, so and this might like it might not be true, but I don't think I believe in balance really.
Hmm.
I think if I, like I said, if I'm just where my feet are at the time, if I'm in the gym, I'm not answering text messages about like work or anything like that. I'm focusing merely on getting stronger and more fit. And I put my phone down. If I'm at work, my wife knows like, don't call me if I'm cutting hair or if I'm doing other stuff. I will call you like right after. If she does call me, if it's an emergency, then yeah, I'll be like, hey, let me call you back here in like 10 minutes. Um, but she's very good at being like, hey, I'm only going to call him if there's an emergency.
Hmm.
Just so I can focus on work and put my time into the people that I'm trying to serve. Um, and then when I'm at home, and that's my hardest part, is need to be at home. So if people are texting me, especially when I was in the sales world, there's reps who are texting me at like 1 a.m. like, hey, I need this, I need that. How can I get better at this? And I'm like, no, I used to answer that. I used to be
Hmm.
like, I'm at your beck and I'm here at your call. But I could see how it was like frustrating Anna, where she's like, no, you need to focus on us. Like, we're here. You're on your phone. We want to play a game with you, but you're like, sorry, I got to do this.
Hmm.
So now I don't do that. Like, if I'll put it on do not disturb, and I'll answer after I put my kids to bed. Before I go to bed, I'll like do a quick answer if I need to. Other than that, it's like most people know me who are around me. Like, hey, if Willie's at home, don't contact him unless he's not going to answer, unless it's like, unless it's something he wants to answer, or unless it's something that's like really important. Just because I really need to focus in on like being a good father and husband and being the best father and husband to my family. And I just can't do that because the way my mind works.
Yeah.
And I have to put that boundary to myself. Like, hey, just be like, put your phone down. When I'm going to bed, I'm like, put your phone down, like talk to Anna, like keep building that love and relationship with her. Like don't just scroll on your phone and like text and be like Instagram doom scroll. And cause
Mhm.
I get caught up in that. And so that is like kind of my rules to myself is like be where your feet are.
Outside looking in, somebody who, follows you on social media or listens to this podcast, they may look at you and be like, okay, Willie's established, he's got a family, he's got, 4 kids, he's got his own business, he's creating men group. Do you feel secure? Do you have any degrees of imposter syndrome? You're like, look around and like, what's going on? How did I get here? Talk to me how you feel on the inside versus what people may think on the outside.
That's an amazing question. Every day, imposter syndrome. Every day I get thoughts of being like, hey, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm failing. Or like, how do I be a better husband and father? Um, how I'm not, I'm just not being as successful as I can. Like, and the hard part thing about social media, which everyone knows, is it shows all the great things, but life is life. Like, I struggle every day with different things. Like, I struggle every day with like imposter syndrome and like making sure I'm being better at home, like helping Anna more and that stuff isn't shown. And also being like, hey, it's fun starting all these things, but it's hard. It's not successful. It's not as successful as I want it to be right now.
Hmm.
I'm not making $1 million off of this stuff.
Yeah.
It is successful enough. Like it is where it needs to be at this time for the people that it's for. Um, but it's not making me the money that I would love for it to make. But I'm also not. I never looked at the men's group for, hey, this is going to make me money. I looked at it as this is to serve other men. But like my barbershop, like I need to figure out how to 10x that.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of stuff, imposter syndrome and feeling like a failure, feeling not good enough. Also, like people have seen a podcast about me talking about my mom and my struggles with my grow up and my father figure.
Hmm.
Like my father left when I was 2, and my mind towards my father is better now than it was, but I still get in the thought of like, hey, I don't want to be like him. I don't
Hmm.
want to be like him. And I think that's negative. I believe that's very negative. Me thinks like he tried hard and he's been trying hard. And so I need to get my mind out of like, no, don't think like that. Think like, how can I be the best version of myself? So every day I'm not perfect. Every day it's not sunshines and rainbows and butterflies. I'm trying to figure out how to get this business rolling and how to get this men's group rolling and how to make sure that I'm there for my family and like, hey, like, let me make sure like we have a good Christmas. Let me make sure that in a year we're not where we're at today.
Hmm.
So there's all that goes in with it.
It's always funny to me how often people think like you were saying, social media is a highlight reel. So you look at people
Hmm.
and you think they've got it figured out, they've got it going on. But even like if I reflect on myself, like something I know very well is fitness and health and nutrition. I got my 10,000 hours. I've been doing it, a lot of my life. But even like up here in Colorado, like I didn't have any friends out here. I didn't know anybody. So I started going to a CrossFit gym and I was like, hey, let me coach a couple times a week. So I coach like, 3 or 4 classes a week just on the weekends just to get to know people. And then even every single day or starting that, I was like, what am I doing coaching? Like, what do I know about this? And it's just like a beginner CrossFit class, even though objectively I should, be able to look at myself and be like, okay, I,
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. I still sit down there and I'm like, what am I doing? What do I know? How can I offer any value here? And so it's always crazy. Um, just outside looking in that we think people have it figured out. And then when we are in our own position, even at something that we should excel at, we still
Yeah.
get those imposter syndromes and we still don't feel like we're there or should be there or have value. It's pretty astounding.
Oh, 100%. So I guess like on the other side, what do you do, Chase, to like get over that or just every day try and get over the imposter syndrome and what are you implementing? Because I'd be interested in hearing on your
Yeah.
side. So
I get those feelings all the time, like almost every single podcast too. Like, I have somebody on and I'm like really excited to talk to them. And then, day of, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I don't have any good questions. Well, how can I talk to these people? But anytime I get that feeling, I just kind of acknowledge it as a feeling and not a fact. So like those feelings come in, I'm like, okay, there it is. That's a feeling. That's not necessarily, that's not fact. And that's not how I have to feel. It's just, I'm able to look at it objectively and be like, okay, that's my monkey mind. That's my impulse mind, not wanting to get uncomfortable or put myself out there. Let me just recognize that for how it is and then set that aside, knowing I can act and perform and still excel anyway. And so a lot of that is just for me, that conscious monologue that the way I feel isn't indicative of the facts. It's not reality.
Mm,
It's just a feeling. And I can
right.
set that aside and still perform.
That's amazing, actually. I never thought about that, but the way you put that, I'm like, dang, I need to do that. Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes I look at that feeling and I'm like, oh my gosh, and how do I get over this? Other than just like just brushing it over.
Hmm.
But the way you explain it, like just acknowledging that that is a feeling, but we're gonna like it's not a fact.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the best way to do it because people are always like, I mean, you have that old, I guess not old, but that quote from Marcus Aurelius. It's like if you've been offended or if you've been hurt, it's like if somebody hurt you, if you don't feel hurt, then you haven't been hurt. And if you haven't been hurt, then like there's no pain. Or I think it's
there's no
offended.
pain.
It's like if somebody offends you, if you don't feel offended, then you haven't been offended or something like that. But that's so much easier to say than actually do. Like if I'm mad, I can't just be like, oh hey, I'm mad, let me not be mad. Or if I'm like, oh, I'm nervous or I'm scared, let me not feel those things. Like I don't have the control over my emotions, or I doubt pretty much anybody does. That's why I like their emotions. And
Yep.
so, but what I do have is I have control over the logic side of me, the rational side of me. And so I'm able to
Mm.
see those things and I can pinpoint them and acknowledge them for what they are as feelings and still be like, okay, I feel that. That's probably not going to go away, but let me just set that aside and still perform. Let me acknowledge that for what it is not reality, just a feeling, and set that
Yeah.
aside. So that's been huge
That
for
that
me.
that's awesome. Actually, I those the way you're thinking, the way you put it in, I'm like, dang, I need to look at life or emotions or feelings that way. Help me throughout my day when I'm thinking like imposter syndrome or you're not good enough for this, Willie.
Hmm.
Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you building this? Like, this isn't going to be good. So,
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make it go away. Like you still have that
no.
feeling, but you're able to act and able to still perform, which is nice. When I think about somebody creating a men's group or somebody creating a community, there's not much people that I can think of that would be better suited for it than you. And then and having Anna by your side as a wife, because when we were always together, when we were at FNX, you guys always had that group. You always had that community, whether it was B going up to, Anna's parents' house or over to your guys' apartment or whatever it is. You guys
Yeah.
always had a group or crew. And you always made everybody feel welcome and fun. So I can't think of anybody better than you two to kind of head that and make that an actual place, because it definitely feels genuine and it feels kind of a part of just who you guys are. Because you
Thank
guys
you.
have been doing it for your friends and family, and so doing it outside of that, I think, is super valuable.
Thank you, brother. Like, we're super excited for it. And it's just something that I've always wanted to do. Like you said, like, we have always been people who are like, invite everyone.
Hmm.
Like, and sometimes it might not be a good idea when we look at it, like whether it's like this person and this person are having a little tiff and they're not getting along. But Anna always tells me like, invite them, like, just invite them, their
Hmm.
family or their friends, and they're not here for them; they're here for us or our kids or whatever. And it ends up being really good, and they end up talking to each other and saying sorry and all that stuff. And I think it's amazing. So when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, thank goodness for the wife that I have. Anna's amazing. So she also helps me get out of my mind where she's like, it's not a huge deal. Like, you're overthinking it. Like, just do it. Like,
Hmm.
make it happen. So that helps out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. She's awesome. She back when I had my crazy hair,
Yeah.
she'd cut it and get it in place. But she always made out everybody feel so welcome. She was always so fun. She's
Yeah.
she's awesome. I love Anna.
She's a great woman. I love her.
So if sitting down where you are now, and then looking back, let's say just to, where we were back at the FNX days when we were together, obviously, like you were saying, your priorities were not what they are now. And I'm sure you
Mhm.
didn't ever think you could achieve or get to where you are now. What,
Yeah,
what would you say to us back then?
great question. Um, I would say you could do anything that you tell yourself you can do. Whatever you put your mind to, like, and don't stop. Like, don't let anyone get in your way, and just do the thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's ask the girl out, or start the business, start the LLC, or whatever. Live your dreams. Um, I would tell us, me and you, like, no, you are good enough. You can do this. You have the talent. You have the skills. Go do it. And I support you 100%. And I'm here if you need anything. So that's what I would tell ourselves is you're meant for so much more. Go do it.
Hmm. Hmm. It's like that sentiment and that phrase, like it's always good to hear, especially from people who are kind of gotten to where they want to go. But the problem is a lot of times, and I feel this way, and I don't want to speak for you, but like I'll look back and I'll see, okay, I've done hard things in my life. I put
Hmm.
myself through pain. I've done that thing. But whenever I sit down and I look at my internal feelings, I don't feel like I'm somebody who does hard things. I often
Hmm.
feel like I'm somebody who quits when things get hard, or like finds the easy way out, even though objectively I can look at my past and see those things. But it's crazy how in my mind or in my emotions, it's always the failures, quote unquote, or the things where I didn't live up to my own standard that sticks out the most, and how those kind of define my personality, at least in my head, and how I'm trying to get outside of that, and how I'm trying to give myself a little bit more grace, like I'd give other people more grace, and be able
Yeah.
to acknowledge, like, hey, yes, I'm not always going to live up to my own ambitions or my own standards for myself, but that's not an excuse to not try each and every time. And also to think of myself as the times that I didn't. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily define me.
I agree. I think we are the hardest critics to ourselves. Like, I think about myself as well. I'm like, man, I can help I can help other people, like, talk them through motivation and discipline and be like, no, you are good enough. Sometimes I can't help myself. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Willie, what are you doing? You're not good enough for that, or that's dumb. That's silly. Why would you do something like that? And it's not going to be successful. Or if I'm like starting a barbershop, my mind would be like, okay, the grass is greener somewhere else. I can go make money somewhere else. Instead of being like, just stick to this.
Hmm.
And you're good enough to make this grow and be amazing. It's your dream, it's your vision. Like, stick to it.
Hmm.
Believe in yourself. Um, so I think we are the hardest critics to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get in the same boat all the time. It's like here with this podcast, like I started it this year, and like watching it grow and develop has been fun. But like I put all the time, effort into learning how to do it and trying to make the best that it is. But then you get in your own head and you're like, well, what am I doing? Like I can't be in this position. Like this isn't going to be, what I want it to be. And so, just trying to do it for the right reasons, but also understand that like overnight successes are rarely overnight. Like you gotta
Yes,
you gotta
you're right.
grind in the dark, and then you're gonna have your moments in the sun. So it's really cool to see and hear you say that.
Yeah, man. And exactly what you said, it, brick by brick.
Hmm.
And nothing, most successful people, and you know this, it didn't happen overnight. It happened by rep, brick
Hmm.
by brick. And I'm getting to know that, or I've gotten to get to know that while in these last few years of trying to start a business. And it's like, it didn't happen overnight. And I could have quit really easily. And I almost did year one. Now we're in like almost year four of the barbershop, and we're doing amazing things. And sometimes my imposter syndrome is like, well, you could have done that 3 years ago, and now you're like way behind. All these other
Hmm.
people have started that, and you didn't take the step earlier. So now you're kind of behind. You're behind in that phase, and I have to like not compare myself. I can't look at other barbers and be like, dang, they started after me, and I had that same thought and vision, and they just took it. Like, now I can't do it because it's not gonna be I'm gonna look like I'm copying them or
Yeah.
I'm not as good as them, but like my brother told me, like, "Just do the thing," and I just did it, and it's been great. Like, I'm trying to plan out what I need to for everything, but sometimes it just has happened, and I'm, like, trying to adjust to it, so
Mhm. Yeah, that's something I'm trying to implement, like, do the thing or strike while the iron's hot. It's like,
mm,
when I get the thought, when I get the thing, just you gotta act. You got to do it because it's
mhm,
gonna your your brain's gonna try and talk you out of it the longer you wait for it, to tell you all the reasons it's gonna fail or all the reasons you shouldn't do it or how you're gonna be criticized or mocked. And so you gotta get the inspiration and you gotta strike while the iron's hot and you just gotta keep going.
yeah, 100%, and I've over the last I would say this past year when I've like, "Okay, just do it," and then especially when I started the men's group, it's been great, It's been like I just been acting.
Mhm.
And is it gonna go amazing every time? No. Like, there's gonna be some hiccups and, stumbling blocks, but I'm just, like, focusing on, like, "Hey, when that happens, I'm gonna adjust to it, and I'm gonna be okay." Like, I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna plan for even though I still like to plan, I'm kinda like, I know you pretty well, like, you're a very planned out person as well, and but I also am like, "Okay, this all my plans might go to crap, but I'm just gonna if anything happens, I'm gonna adjust to it."
Mhm.
So, I'm gonna problem solve is what I'm trying to think of, like,
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Well, if anybody for anybody listening to this, let's say they got to this point, what would you just to kind of give them, let's say, some last minute notes here? What would you be like, hey, if you want to start a business, if you want to be a little bit more successful, if you want to do the thing, these would be what I recommend. What would those things be for you?
first, believe in yourself,
Hmm.
um, and know that you are good enough, and whatever you're thinking, whatever your vision is, do it. Like, do the thing. Second off, find someone who's doing it 10 times better than you and reach out to them. The worst thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna say like, "Oh, I'm too busy," or whatever, but there's many people out there. So find that person that you look up to or find that influencer or business owner or whatever or friend and get connected with them and just follow whatever they tell you to do and learn from them. It's gonna take us a little bit, but learn from them and learn from your mistakes. That's what I'd say, step 2. And step 3, I would say just stay the course.
Mm.
Like, it's gonna get hard, but just stay the course and keep going. So,
Awesome, man. Well, Willie, thank you so much for your time today. I've got a
thank you.
tradition on this podcast where I ask the guest if they had a podcast or if they could talk to somebody, assuming that they're alive and well, who would that person be for you? And then I'll do my best to get them on the podcast.
Ooh, ooh. Um, Dude, that's a great question. I would love to have if I had a podcast, which Chase, I tried to start a podcast. Sorry, this is off topic and I'll be quick.
No, you're good.
I tried to start a podcast 2 years ago, and then my imposter syndrome hit so hard that I did like one episode
Yeah.
and then I stopped it. So the fact that your podcast has got it's amazing. Like, I look up to you, I'm like, dang, this podcast is so good. So
Uh,
and that's what I mean by I'm like, I see it, I'm like, dang, I'm so behind.
yeah.
And but like, congratulations. I think it's amazing.
Hey, thanks,
But
man.
um I don't know. I would love to have, and this is who I would love to have is Tim Tebow.
Okay.
The reason why is because when I went to Florida and I met him, um, everything that he talked about was just so genuine and amazing. He talked about I asked him the question like, "Hey, what does success mean to you?" And he answered, he didn't know my name. He said, "You know what? Success doesn't mean anything unless you're significant. So if you're not significant to others, then success means nothing." And
Hmm.
I like when I heard that, it hit me so deep. I'm like, oh, am I being significant to other people or other people's lives, or how am I being significant? So Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
If you can
Mm,
get him on.
I mean, I'll do my best. As it grows, hopefully I can get, because I've had some, a lot of guests give me a lot of names. So
Yeah.
obviously, some of them are a little bit more or less attainable than others. But hopefully, as
Yeah.
this grows, I'll be able to get them all, because that would definitely be my goals. Like, as kind of my guiding focus for this podcast is like, it started initially. It's like I've always listened to podcasts. I wanted to have, I wanted to have a show. I wanted to have be able to do this to pay my bills. I wanted to create something and give back to, create something for the world. But to be honest, a lot of that started initially from a space of hubris or a space of like selfishness. It's like, okay, I don't like what I'm doing. I got to find something else. This will be that thing. But as I've
Hmm.
been doing it, more and more, a lot of it comes from a place of like gratitude and a desire to help and provide value to others. Like, yes, I'm the one here sitting and asking these questions. And a lot of it does come from a place of selfishness. It's like, oh, I want to talk to that person because they're doing something that I want to do and they're better than me and I want to hear from them. So
Hmm.
obviously there is a little bit of that, like, let me steal their information. But
Yeah.
also it's now a lot more of it has grown to like, okay, like I have a duty of service to the people who take the time to listen to me. I want them to have guests that can provide value. I want them to be able to get information from this and to be able to grow. And that has made a lot of the difference as well. It's like it's no longer like, oh, I got to do this for me or I want to do this. It's like I get to do this and I want, like, if I don't do that, if I have the ability to do something and I choose not to do it, but the thing that I'm choosing not to do could have benefited somebody's life, then I'm actively hurting that person by taking it away. Like, that's the way I look at it now.
Love it.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. Where can people go to get their haircut? Where can people go to get a hold of you to maybe come and be a part of this men's group?
Yeah, my Instagram will at willie.wolfgram, um, or Legacy Barbershop on Instagram. And that's what my barbershop's called. If you're in Utah, anywhere in Utah, our men's group is once a month on a Thursday at my barbershop. So look us up, Legacy Barbershop. Willie Wolfgramm is my name on Instagram. So
Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you so much for your time.
thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Good to see you.